if you're going to host a live event and you're going to showcase a model home, or you're going to showcase one of your at a physical location. So let's just say it's a model home or a spec home, or you want to go out and show some home sites that you now have available. But anything where you want to do that, you're going to use the camera on either your tablet or a laptop. We went through and tested this. You cannot schedule a live event using the camera from your cell phone. So keep that in mind. Cell phones will not work if you want to schedule the event. And that's what's important. We're going to encourage all of you to schedule the event about 1 week in advance. And Susie's going to go and give some lots of tips on what you could do to promote that using social media, as well as through email and text messaging and things. But when you go do it and schedule it, tablet, so iPad, if you got one of that, or other Android tablet, or just use your laptop computer. And imagine this: you're walking through your home, or if you're going to be at one of your supplier showrooms, any of those ideas, you're going to need to have something a little more stable than a cell phone. So last but not least is having 2 people at the event. The way that Facebook Live works is that you might be having one person running the camera and showing people, and then you can give people polls, which will show you. You can insert questions, and you have a live stream going. So people can type in comments, ask questions in the live stream as they're watching it, and you can also answer those questions, insert your own questions and polls. So it's good to have like an administrator that would be managing that part of it, and also somebody that is actually running the camera if you're showing something on the camera. One thought with this is that it would be good to have both people should be administrators on your Facebook page. So does everyone know what I mean by that? Or say, does anyone have a question on what that means to become an administrator on your Facebook page? And Facebook page is going to be a business page. Okay, I hear none. Does everyone know how to add someone as an administrator to their Facebook business page?
No.
Okay, you do not. So who was that? Was that Diane?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Diane. So Denny, do you know how to add people as administrator to your Facebook page?
No, but Kendra does, and I imagine Tammy does, I would imagine.
Okay.
Tammy, do you know?
It's very simple. It's just a matter of, I mean, everything in Facebook seems like you have to dig for it, but it's quite simple to do. I'm not going to get into it today if we don't have to, because I want to get into more meat and potatoes stuff. But if you need help with that, just reach out to me individually, and I can walk you through it. So that's just what we're going to start with, is setting up the event. Then we're going to move to executing the event, promoting the event. So we'll use promotions. We will send emails out to your database, and so we might use our event app. We also want to make sure you guys are texting or using SMS texting the event, and you're going to get a link once you set the event up that will take people right to your Facebook event. The idea there is that they can click on the link, go to where you've got the event scheduled, and they can click on something called Get Reminder. And that will sync up their app on their phone with your event. So right before your event is scheduled to go live, they're going to get a reminder notification from their app to saying, hey, the Morningstar Builders virtual home tour is about to go live. And then once you do go live, you're going to have a separate post that will have the live feed right on your page. Susie's going to get into this here in a second, which is the social media teaser posts, and she's going to recommend about 5 posts. She does recommend doing some content, like video content. I'm going to let her talk more about that, and under how to get people to show up on time and to increase attendance and also keep them there, and then also using some promoted ads in Facebook. And then the last thing we'll talk about again is executing the event, so the day of, and how we engage people. So we put together some questions for you, and Also, Susie's going to talk about drawings and CTAs, which stands for call to actions. Most of you know that, but we want to continue to do call to actions during the event, and Susie will get into more of that. So I think that's our agenda, what we're going to go through today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up and I'm going to go to number 1, setting up a Facebook Live event. And Rob, I see that you jumped on the call here today too. You and I were working on this yesterday, so feel free to chime in with any feedback. I'm going to jump off of the PowerPoint here and open up a Facebook page. This is a business page, and we're just going to walk through this step by step with you. So reminder number 1, set the event up from the device that you want to use the camera. So set it up from your iPad or your laptop that you are going to have at the event and use for your camera. So that's the most important thing to remember. So once I become an administrator on the page, and I'm going to go down here and I see something right here that says create a live event, offer, or job. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on live. And then this is going to take me into something called Facebook Live Producer. Quite simple, quite easy to use. And you'll see once I get into this, I can either go live right away or I can schedule an event. And what I want to do is schedule an event. See, as soon as, here we go. All right, so right up here where it says live, there's my go live now or schedule a live video. So I'm gonna go ahead and click schedule a live video. And then what I do is I pick and choose the date of my event. So Rob, you're doing one this coming Sunday, I think. So April 19th. And then I pick the time of the event. Make sure you don't pick AM or 2 AM, but I think you're doing one at 2 PM. Is that right, Rob? And Rob might be shy or he's not listening, but okay. So the next thing that happens is if you're an administrator, you're going to get some choices here. So share to your timeline, share to a page you manage, share in a group. So you're going to click share in a page you manage, and then this will give you a list of the different pages that you manage. So I'm going to choose that particular page. Next, I create a title for the event. So we'll call this a virtual home tour. And Susie, do you have any feedback here as far as titles? Something that's, because I've noticed that there's very limited, once you post the event on your timeline, there's very limited options to create text. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I try to do titles that are going to either agitate a problem or make them understand that you're going to teach them something that will solve a problem. So I want the title to really get at that, because you've got to grab them fast on Facebook. So, if you're going to show, 5 biggest things that people despise about their kitchens, or and how we can fix it, right? So I really want to get at some pain points in the titles.
You and I spoke yesterday, and I thought this was really intuitive, is that we need to play on, of course, what's currently happening, where people are stuck in their homes. And they're stuck in their homes, and they're realizing all the things they really do not like about their homes. So as far as that pain point goes, you could, and say if you're going to show one of your new model homes or spec home, or go to a cabinet showroom, you could talk about, the 5 biggest mistakes in your home's kitchen. We're going to do a virtual live event with that. And of course, you can say we're going to be at our cabinet manufacturers or our cabinet showroom, and so from this such cabinets is going to talk about the mistakes that were made in the past, and how new homes today are remodeling, if you're doing that, are fixing that. So that's idea number 1. If you're going to, otherwise we could focus on, hey, what are you going to learn? Again, we'll walk you through our model home, and learn about the latest and greatest in ranch home design, or the latest and greatest. And Rob, some of these guys that are here locally, they do a lot of sport courts, which are indoor sports centers. It's a hot thing, so they'll learn about how to design your indoor sports center for hockey, as an example. So anything that the picture at home you're going to show you have as far as what they would learn from that would go here in the title. So I'll just put a note on here, how to design your indoor sport court for hockey, something like that. So next thing I can do is I can say something about this live. And one thing I noticed is that when I type something in here, it doesn't necessarily show up. So when you post this live, it will actually go to a post on your site, and you can go back at that point and add in text. So I'm just going to make a note here, add text here. And this is cross-posting to more pages. Susie, I think, is that where you can actually have the video show up at more than one page?
Yeah, so let's say that you have, you know, a page for remodeling projects, and if you have a page for custom home building, you can choose, everyone you choose on there, it will live stream at the same time.
Okay, so here's the other two pages that I managed, and that's why it's giving me the option. Okay, audience settings.
Hey, Rick, can I just stress, I learned this from a social media expert where he had the add text here. Do not put in a link to your website in that spot. And the reason you don't want to put it there is that apparently when you put those links, that assertively Facebook chooses not to show your live video to as many prospects as what it will show if it doesn't see you trying to drive them to your website immediately.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for bringing that up.
yeah, you'll want to wait and put that actually in the comments when you can put it in your video and talk about it, but you'll then put it in the comments after you're done with the video.
Fantastic, thank you. So audience settings, really nothing you need to do here. You don't want to restrict certain locations or select locations, and it's open to the public. Although that's really all that is, so don't bother with anything there. And then selecting an image. Again, put an image in, something that the image, what I found is probably the most important part of this, and I'm just going to grab an image here as a test, set this up. And now I'm getting you can see this is a preview of my post. So this is all on my image, and you'll see where it says add text here. That's coming from this. And it says how to design. This is not showing up yet, but once I post it, it will show up. And then last but not least, I can go back in once I schedule this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up my camera and things. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I got this correct. Oh, I need to set the date. Okay, I've added my image. I'm going to schedule my live video. And so when I've done this now, it will say it's successfully scheduled. And now I have some new options. And so I click on my camera. And again, that's why I'm scheduling from this device. It says I have a camera. I think I have a camera issue because I'm using my camera right now on Zoom, which is why it's not allowing me to access it. But this is what you'll select after you set it up. Put that camera in there, and then as far as a microphone, that's the other thing you want to make sure that you pick up. So if you're using, some of you are probably going to be using the microphone on your device, but a better idea is if you have an external microphone that you can plug into your device, such as your computer, if you have like a USB port, or if it's an iPad, if there's a microphone port, it's a good idea to have an external microphone so people can hear you clearly. Once I select my camera, then this allows me to go up here and I can see my camera. I can test out my audio, and that's good to do. And then down here, as far as settings, nothing more you really need to do here. You don't need the embed code. The embed code, I think, would be like if you wanted to broadcast this live on a website. But since we're pushing them to Facebook, you don't need to do that. And then viewing, this allows viewers to rewind. So you're going to record this and keep it on Facebook, and we're going to repurpose this for other stuff. So you definitely want to allow them to rewind. This right here is the all-important link. So I can copy this, and then I'll just show you what this looks like. Once you go to your page, you'll notice that you'll have something that says live. There's a specific part of your page where you can see the live video, the scheduled videos, and you can also see it on your posts, which I'll show you here in a second. So this is the one that I just scheduled, which was how to design your indoor sport court. You see I have more than one on here. This is one I created earlier. Now, what we're doing is we're taking this link and we're going to drive people to this link, and what we're going to instruct them to do is to click on Get a Reminder. So now what happens is that from my Facebook app, I will get a reminder prior to this starting, and I will then come to this page. And then once I get to this page, I will then see your live video up, and I'll be able to watch that and make comments on it. And I'm going to go to the home page here too, so you can see where this is in a post. Okay, so here's my post. So one other thing I would suggest doing is while you're still logged in as an administrator, go ahead and click on this post and pin it to the top of the page. So if you're a week in advance and you're going to be doing additional posts, I mean, Susie, you tell me, would you pin that or not? I should get your advice on this.
I don't, because unless it has changed and I just haven't paid attention, pinned posts don't show up on phones. You have to like open the tab that is a pinned post to see it on a phone. So I prefer to tease things with multiple, a combination of multiple, picture posts, and then doing those videos that we talked about.
Okay.
So that there's more frequency instead of trying to just pin something to the top. And you can still, tell them the time, and you can give them the URL of that particular post if you want to in other posts. But I prefer frequency and engagement over trying to pin it.
Yeah, well, and especially if it's not going to show up on mobile, 98% of the people using Facebook are logging on from mobile, so you definitely don't want to pin it.
Yeah, unless they recently changed it. But last I looked, you literally had to open up like a tab for the pinned post. So
okay,
I just stopped doing it.
All right, but so here's your text that will show up here, obviously. So I'm gonna add more text there, and it's ready to go. And you can see it says reminder set because I've clicked on it, and if somebody hasn't clicked on it, it'll say get reminder. So in your emails, when you send out to people with this link, you want to tell them that they need to click on the get reminder button so they get the reminder prior to the event starting. So that's the first part of our training here, which was setting up the Facebook Live event. Just to recap, you need to have a tablet or a laptop to use that camera. Cell phone won't work. You want to schedule the event about a week in advance so you have time to promote it, and then have more specifically, two administrators at the event. So one person can run the camera and the other person can run or administer things. We're going to move next into promotion, and so I'm going to go back here to my screen right here. So before we get into that, any other questions with anything that we just went over here for setting up the event?
So first I have to have a page that I manage in order to have it go to a page.
Yeah, Diane, so you're going to host it on the Regency Homes page. So you would be made an administrator to that page, and
Okay.
then you could manage the camera as well as the comments and the engagement during the event.
Okay.
Any other questions on that? Okay, let's talk about promotion. I'm going to probably cover the first two items here, and then I'm going to let Susie go through the social media teaser posts. First and foremost, we have a week prior to the event, so we want to make sure we're emailing your database. So the link that we created, once we created the Facebook Live, we need to get that from you. So send that link to Alexandra, so then we can incorporate that into your e-announcements. Or if you're setting up the e-announcements yourself, that's the one you're going to grab to send people to. So the difference is between this and a traditional event is that people will not RSVP on the website. You will not get the event notifications like when someone RSVPs. Everything's going to go to Facebook. So you want to make sure if you're an administrator of Facebook, you keep up to see how many people are watching that. Now, they can still attend the event if they don't hit get reminder, but they have to show up to your Facebook page at the correct time. So that's when SMS and text messaging comes in. So if you have some people that you've talked to that are interested in this, it's a good idea to text them prior to the event starting. Give them that same link, and just remind them that the event is going live at, roughly whatever time it is, 2 o'clock. Susie, I'm going to let you talk about the social media teaser posts here.
Okay. So Rick mentioned, you really want to start promoting these things about a week out. And on Facebook, if you post pictures, they are at one level in the algorithm of Facebook showing it to other people. Then if you do post videos, they get higher promotions from Facebook, and Facebook Lives get the ultimate promotions, right? So because it's just like higher and higher engagement with live people. So I would be planning some different things to post each day leading up to the live event. So you could do, again, depending on what you're going to promote during the live event, you could do some different pictures. You could do some before and after pictures. What do you think? You could create a couple videos of, walking through a bathroom that has been designed or remodeled. So just be creative and come up with different things. But in those pre-event teasers, I would definitely want to be asking people some questions. Rick found a place where you can even create a poll if you want to.
Yep, and I'll show that right now, Susie. So
because getting them to comment and have participation prior to the event is important.
So I can put a poll on here. What are your favorite features of the kitchen? And option B, appliances, cabinets. I think you can do 5 of these. And Rob, actually, if you're listening, we added some of these for your event coming up on Sunday.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks.
Lighting, and I'll go through that with you. Plumbing. So I can do 4 of them. And I just go ahead and save that poll. And so then during the event, I can go ahead and I can launch this poll. So if I pull this up here, I can't publish it yet, but I can edit it, but it'll say publish poll, and then that poll goes out into your live stream.
So as an example, as you're doing teasers, you could go live. In fact, I recommend you do go live a couple different times. Because number one, that helps you practice going live. So you don't have to do the full setup as an event. You can just go to a post and go live, and just start to get some people engaged. And then you could say, we're doing this really special live event on Thursday. While you're stuck in your homes, we want to help you start dreaming about what a new home could look like. And so I'd love to get your feedback, right? And then you post a poll, and excuse me, and ask people to give their feedback, so that you can cover everything that they're wanting to have covered in the event, right? So getting them engaged, getting their feedback. Another thing, and I don't know if you had it on your list, Rick, but letting people know that you're going to give away some drawings for some Starbucks gift cards.
Oh, I do have it on my list actually. It's the next slide. So
Oh, okay.
I think you've talked about the call to actions to get teaser to get opt-ins. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, so I would have some sort of handout. So if it's like your special planner to get the perfect home design, or I'm sure you guys have many different things you could use for a handout. And if you post it on your website and then have them go there to download it before the event, and have them, of course, put in their contact information on that. And of course, you will have a link on that handout where they can schedule an appointment post-event too, right? But
Yeah, Susie, just an idea. If you're going to show a home, use the floor plan as the handout, so that they want to get access to that floor plan prior to doing the event. That's one simple idea.
yeah, I mean, there's so many different options for handouts, but the biggest part of it is to be sending them there prior to the event, and be talking about it at the beginning of the event. You can post it also in Facebook, but I'd rather send them to a website and capture their contact information. So definitely get them to download it before the event happens.
And the simplest way to do that is just to use the form on your contact us page and tell them, in the email or the post, what they should ask for. So click here and ask for the floor plan for this plan. And then you can get their contact information and send it back to them.
The other thing that you can do, this is just another idea for some of your teaser ahead of time. Ask them to post a picture of the room they would love to have changed first in their house. Because Facebook loves it when people post pictures, or you could ask them to, if the last time that they were in their favorite room in their house, what's your gift that describes how you felt about that room, and people love to post gifts on comment sections, so that's great engagement too.
And Susie, do you want to talk a little bit about promoted ads? So you said you do recommend doing like an ad promotion, and what do you spend, like $50, something like that, to promote?
Yeah, because you're only promoting it to the people who have liked your page. So it's just another way. So if you put up, an announcement about this event as just a post, and then you promote the post just to people who've liked your page, it's just another way of making sure that they're seeing it.
Yeah, and some of you, NIH Homes, which is doing an event on Sunday, Rob, I think you're still on the call. I mean, I was looking your Facebook page. You guys have like 700 or 800 people who have liked the page. So to spend $50 on a promoted post makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, sounds good.
And I'm not going to get into this, but promoted post, I made a note here, show example of audience. If anybody hasn't advertised on Facebook for a little bit, they've completely changed what you can select for an audience. It used to be you could get into demographics, you could segment by income, you could segment by age, and now they let you choose two things: how many miles within the specific location of your event, and if you and age, and the age is 18 to 65 plus. So they have dramatically reduced what you can choose for an audience, but it's still worth trying it, spending a couple of bucks and seeing what happens.
So you don't invite people, you don't send it, who do you send it to then?
So if somebody's already liked the Regency Home Facebook page, Diane, when you promote that post ad, what'll happen is that in their news feed on Facebook will take that and put it to the top of their news feed. So they'll see the event coming up, and then they can click through to it, and they can hit get a reminder. Any other questions on this particular slide here before we get into executing?
No.
Okay, let's keep going. Thank you, Susie. All right, so executing the event. So Susie and I had a discussion yesterday, and you suggested, Susie, to ask questions during the event to keep people engaged. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, first you want to log in early, especially if you haven't done a lot of them yet, just to make sure that you don't have any glitches that you've got to get past with the technology. So I will go in even 10 minutes early, partially because the glitches, if I have any, but also I want to start engaging with people who are starting to show up, because Facebook alerts the people that your event has gone live. And so while you're waiting for people to log in, you can be asking questions. I mean, even if it's just, hey, where in the world are you joining us from? Or, what's been your biggest thing to do, while you're sequestered in your houses? Just ask questions to get them commenting on your page, because Facebook will start showing it to more people. So that engagement is just so important.
So what I found when I was setting this up is that when you're setting up your event here, you can put your polls in place ahead of time, but you can also load questions. And so you can load these up ahead of time, and then once the event is going, you can publish the questions. So you don't have to worry about typing them in or coming up with them, which is very, very cool. So Rob, we did this on your event here for NIH coming up, is these questions that we see on the screen here. We put all of these in, and it's just a matter of pressing a button to release them.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, the kind of engagement I'm talking about is more conversational, meaning you can watch what they're posting in the chat and you literally are having a conversation, like, hey, Mary, glad you're here. How are things over in Inver Grove Heights? Did you have snow on Sunday? I mean, so you're literally kind of having that warm-up conversation with them while you're waiting for people to log.
Okay.
Okay.
So while you're waiting, you're just being conversational, and then once you get going, you can strategically release the questions.
Great. Yeah, 'cause they'll be in the chat then, and they'll stay there for people viewing too.
And you had mentioned to say this when you're doing the event, if you're here live or watching after our event, because obviously the event gets recorded. So as I understand it, is that people can still make comments or things on the video after it's recorded and it's living on your Facebook page?
Yeah, in fact, you'll want to definitely monitor it for the 4 or 5 days after the event, because people will post questions or comments if they watch the video and there's a place where it says, what's bugging you about your kitchen. So definitely you'll want to watch who's engaging and be able to get some reach out.
Okay. So these were 5 questions that we came up with that suggesting that you do during the event, probably not before the event, but where do you live now? Obviously, something relevant, what's bugging you most about your home as you shelter in place. That's going to the pain point that Susie talked about. What style of home do you live in? So maybe they're in a 2-story and they want to go to a ranch, or some sort of downsizing, or you just want to get that information. What's the most important room in your new home? And where do you want to move to? Seeing if they are interested in your school district, one of your neighborhoods, a community. So it's great engagement questions. And I've got this on a document that I will send out to you guys as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so Susie, let's talk doing the event again, executing it. You brought up an idea to do some drawings.
Yeah. So I always think it's fun. Now, keep in mind, just for the full disclaimer, I do a lot of coaching with women who are in direct selling kinds of businesses. And so they always want to have drawings and play games. But the fact is, it works beyond the direct selling world, right? People think that's fun. So if you give away, some $5 Starbucks gift cards for people who show up on time, just to, again, it's engagement and having some fun. And don't feel like you have to go overboard with how you pick it. You can say, hey, everybody who's here, comment now, because they can be there, but if they don't comment, you won't know they're there, and then you'll know their names, and you can have somebody who's helping you randomly pick some of them, right? So you don't have to go overboard on how you manage it, but it also means they can go and record who attended afterwards by getting those comments. So I'd have a couple of them for on time. You can have who answers this question first, and give somebody a gift card for that. And again, they don't have to be expensive. It's just having some fun and working that into your presentations.
Yeah, and one of the things I've noticed just running the ads on Facebook, it does break down the demographics. It's probably 3 to 1, if not a little bit more than that, women to men. So we are definitely catering to an audience of women here to show up for this event. So, and you're right, my wife is one of them. She loves doing these games and contests, and she is very excited about it. So do not think that this is not going to engage people, especially if you feel like, well, I build $1 million homes and they don't care about contests. It's not so much that, it's just having some fun and engaging people. So you had mentioned 3 different times maybe to do a drawing. You want to talk a little bit more about that, Susie?
Yeah, so definitely the ones, for people who show up on time. Partway through, again, doing some things where you ask a question and you base it on who replies to the question, or you can put out, say you give some information and you say, 80% of the homes these days have a bonus room, and that's going to be really important. I'm going to ask you that later during the presentation, and you'll want to know that answer, right? So you're making sure they're paying attention. And then at the end, you can say, now remember when I told you, that a certain percentage of the homes built these days include a bonus room? Anybody remember that percentage? The first 3 people to write it get a gift card. So again, it's just figuring out fun ways to keep them focused on your content, and working them through so that they stay engaged during the entire presentation.
And you mentioned too, don't just take 3 $5 Starbucks cards or $10 Starbucks cards and give away. So every time you do a drawing, give away multiple prizes. And the other so showing up on time, you do a drawing right away. Hey, the first you could promote that. The first 3 people to show up, we're giving away a $5 or $10 gift card. And the other thing that's important about this is that it creates an opportunity for them to contact you to get their prize afterwards. So obviously, It's another opportunity for you to get into a conversation. They might be a true prospect there. So it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money, and it keeps them engaged. One thing after you gave me those ideas, Susie, I thought about is say you're walking through the kitchen in your spec home, and you could point out that maybe you guys use KitchenAid appliances. Okay, the type of appliances that we provide included in all of our homes are KitchenAid such and such a series. That's an important point. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to ask it later, and the first person to come up with KitchenAid, is going to win that. And then 20 minutes later, I ask, okay, we're going to do a drawing. What types of appliances do we include in our homes? You could, again, ask specific information as it relates to your offering. So how many communities do you have in such and such a school district? So think these things out and how you want to do them, and then tease them, and obviously offer them later. We can tease them in the promotion. You can tease them during the event itself. So do one in the beginning, one in the middle, and one in the end. And that's why it's important to have that administrative person that can help you with that. So if you're the one that's actually doing the tour and just running a camera, you don't even have to think about this. Your administrative person will handle it for you. So Susie, you also brought up something very important, the call to actions. Obviously, this is the reason we're doing these. We got to get some business out of it. So give us some thoughts on those.
Um, so, so I'm going to tell you, if I was doing, so this is kind of a segue, but you have to be asking yourself, what's going to motivate somebody right now to take action, right? So I would be having a call to action to schedule an appointment, but I would also consider some sort of small like some sort of, like a gift certificate for a restaurant, or something, maybe $50 that they get at the conclusion of an appointment. Because right now I want to dangle a carrot to make sure that it happens, right? And you and I didn't talk about it, Rick, so if you disagree with me, feel free to.
No, so you say anybody, so you'd say essentially anyone that schedules an appointment from this meeting with us, we're gonna give you a such and such gift certificate during that appointment.
Yeah, so let me give you an example. I used to be in the mortgage world about a decade ago. And when I did basically vendor events, which if you think, I mean, these are all just prospecting events, right? So when I did vendor events, I offered to pay the cost of an appraisal for people who scheduled appointments with me to consider refinancing their home in the 2 weeks following the event. Okay, so I did an event over a weekend and came home with 13 appointments on my calendar. And if I paid for their appraisal, that was nothing compared to what I was going to earn, on the mortgage. So, I wanted to do things that entice people to take fast action, and that it has to be a big enough carrot, so that they are like, yeah, we should do this. So that's what I did in the mortgage world. And that if I was doing something online talking about refinancing homes right now, I would do the same exact thing. When you schedule your appointment with me in the next 2 weeks, and you can go to my calendar right now, should you proceed on your refinance because you booked from this special event, I'm going to cover the cost of your appraisal. That's a $495 value or whatever they're going for these days.
We could also, to look at the current situation we're in, obviously the restaurant industry is really struggling, because I'm sure every restaurant where you guys are coming from is closed down right now. They're doing takeout only. So you could also do that. Says, hey, we're supporting such and such a restaurant in our community. So maybe there's restaurants that people are aware of that are somewhat infamous in the locations you're building. And you could say, yeah, we're going to support this. We're buying gift cards from these guys. So if you come here, we're going to give you, and do the appointment, we're going to give you a gift card, support our local businesses, and you'll be able to go get some great takeout food, because I'm sure you're sick of cooking at home. So
yeah. But
great ideas. Great ideas. Okay, so this is the end of the training as far as executing the event here. So I want to open it up just for general questions from anyone and or comments. Rob, I think if you're still on from NIH Homes, you have I don't know if Rob's on still or not. Oh yeah, you are right here, Rob.
Yep, I'm here.
So you've got the soonest event coming up. You went through the setup process already. I know it was difficult. We actually made some edits for you this morning to try to help you out there. But any thoughts so far from you on going through at least the setup process?
No. I mean, it'd be super helpful if we could use it on the phone. But it's interesting that it doesn't work that well through the phone. It's best with a tablet or a computer. So I'm assuming Aaron, my teammate, the other administrator that will be with me, I assume he's going to need a tablet or a computer. Is that what you're thinking? The other person helping out?
Yes.
Okay. And then comments will come up, and he'll have to type and respond to them, or am I able to type and I'll respond obviously if I see them come across my screen also. I guess I can walk through this with you, but I was just trying to figure out who responds and how that all works.
Well, ideally, if you're going to be walking through the home, I would have your Aaron, your administrator, respond to comments. And so you'd want to go through and do a test with him and make sure he knows how to launch your your poll when you want to launch it, or push your questions out there and comment back to folks.
Okay. All right.
And it reminds me of our teaser, which I want to go promoting the event. The one thing that we can do promoting the event is you can go live from your phone right away without scheduling. It's only to schedule the event you can't do it from your phone, but you can go live right away. So if you wanted, Susie was talking about these videos to promote your event. You could sort of just pull up your phone, go live, say, hey, I'm live on Facebook right now, and we got this event coming up, and these are some things we're going to go through at the event, do just a quick promotion that way. So that would be super simple, just to record it right to Facebook, and then it's there. And Susie, you recommend doing those about 5 of those, or about maybe 1 a day during the weekdays leading up to the event?
Yeah, it's a combination. So, you could post a picture post, say at 10 a.m., do a live at 3 in the afternoon. So alternate your times and alternate your types of posts, because, different people are on at different times. So it just impacts who sees it.
Sure.
Hey, Rick, so I just went to the house this afternoon. I did a video, just not a walkthrough, just like an intro video to welcome them, and just a highlight video, just, not moving around the house. It was just me talking with the house in the background, the interior of the house. So I was going to send that out, and I took photos also. So I'm not planning to go back to the house. It's about an hour from my home. Am I able to use my YouTube video and somehow have that on Facebook?
I don't think you can post YouTube videos to Facebook anymore. Susie, do you know the answer to that?
If you dig into to YouTube and download your video,
Yep.
I've done it before. Then you can turn around and upload it to Facebook.
But if he has the original on his phone, you could just take the original video file on your phone and just upload it to Facebook, Rob.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's probably
because you had to upload it to YouTube anyway, unless you record it directly from YouTube. I'm not sure how you did it, but if you recorded it on your phone and then uploaded it, you're fine.
Yeah, I just did it from my phone. So okay, all right. So yeah, I got that part done then.
And Yvonne asked the question: how long should a Facebook event last? What time of the day is best for Facebook Live? We were trying to figure this out earlier, Susie. I mean, is it better to do it in the morning, afternoon? Do you have any experience? A weekend, weekday? Now we're all sheltered in place too. Do you think there's any logic to when you do it where you get better attendance?
Well, so it does take a little bit of testing, but I would actually recommend doing it around 8 o'clock at night because right now all these parents are home having to deal with homeschooling their kids. And so I would try the first one about 8 o'clock at night. Just get the kids
that would be weekday, obviously, like a Monday through Thursday. Okay. Yeah. And then if I do weekend, any thoughts there?
Yeah, then I would probably do 3 in the afternoon. Of course, right now we don't have sports to deal with, right? We're not competing.
We don't have activities. We don't got sports. We don't have shopping. We don't have anything to deal with except for, do we go out for a walk or do we need anything from the grocery store?
Yeah, I mean, if you were doing an open house, right, you'd probably do it from 1 to 3 or something. So
yeah. So Rob, you scheduled yours for 2 on a Sunday. And I was just talking to another client, and they were thinking about doing something at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. But interesting, you go that late during the week. So, okay. One of the challenges is, of course, if I'm going to show a home, I want to have natural light. And so then I would probably do it on a weekend in the afternoon so I get the best light there. A little tough to get decent lighting if it's already dark outside. So.
And one more thing about your teasers, just from what you just talked about with your videos and pictures, and that is they don't all have to be pictures of houses. right? I mean, you could put up a video of the snowstorm you guys just had, and that would be but still the text would be, oh my goodness, we're all stuck in the house, thank goodness, and I hope you love your house because because who wants to be out in this crazy weather? It doesn't have to be just pictures of houses. In fact, the more it's people and crazy and put some crazy pictures of you up there.
That brings up a point. I think it was Regency Homes. Denny, you were talking about promoting. You have a new phase of sites coming out, or neighborhoods and things. As the weather gets nicer, and I don't know what it's like in your guys' neighborhood, but it seems like in the evening, everybody and their brother is out walking around. So if you have a community that's already got residents living in it, and it's a nice day, you could do a teaser video and you could show how many people are there, or if you have like a central amenity such as a pool or clubhouse, get some video of that and promote some of the lifestyle of the community, where the home is located, or ultimately you're trying to sell home sites in that community.
Also, if you think of what people share, so like this past week, I've seen this post of a guy who put spongy things on his head to walk through the grocery store. That's the six feet distance. And it's hysterical, and that's been going viral. So you could. There was a post this past 2 weeks ago of Easter eggs that all had little masks on them, and so do some things that get people's attention and make them smile.
I saw some salespeople that were promoting this. It was a promo video like you're talking about for a different builder, and they were doing videos like where they were relaxing at different spots around their model home. So they had one where they were sitting in the tub, and another one where they were, laying on one of the couches, or actually using that. So yeah, injecting some humor in this too that's a great idea. Have some fun with it.
Yeah.
So Rob, you got doesn't this home you're coming up on Sunday? Isn't there a sport court that's got a hockey theme?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So get a video of Aaron going out there, put his hockey equipment on, and start shooting some pucks at the net for the hocky thing to promote it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Aaron's up for that for sure. I mean,
but that's what it takes. That's what it takes. If you want to get somebody to show up, you got to do more than just. I mean, if you're just going to send out an email and you're just going to post it on your Facebook page, you're going to have a pretty low attendance. I think it's what Susie's getting at, is that you gotta, like anything else, you gotta work it. You gotta spend some time. Video is probably the best way to do that. Doesn't have to be super. Doesn't have to be obviously professional, but do something creative with your video.
Yeah. So again, I have a video I can use from being at the model. I have good photos. I mean, the clubhouse, I can send out a photo of that to tease. I don't know. I don't have a lot of funny ones with Easter eggs and Aaron shooting pucks. But we'll try to come up with something. I could see
you getting so you and Aaron are going to be on the video together. Is you shoot a video where you got a tape measure 6 feet out, like and Aaron's at the end of it and you're at the other end. So we promise we won't get more than closer than this during the video, and just to have some fun like that. But anyway,
the hard part will be Aaron trying to respond to comments and things. I mean, again, for us, it's a brand new, hit and miss thing. Again, it's not the end of the world because we'll do more of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why do a test one, like Susie was saying beforehand. Do a test one, try it out, put some comments in there, launch some polls, put questions in there, see what it's like before you go and do it live.
And the other thing, Rob, is that be upfront. Tell them, you know what, this is our first time doing this. And so we're going to give this our best shot. If we miss a comment, I promise you we will look through the comments and questions post, after I share all our information, and make sure everything gets answered. It's like, you don't have to come across looking like you're, this professional videographer or something. In fact, that people won't enjoy it as much if you try to be too polished and professional. Just be yourself and be transparent about it.
Yeah, that's
Great-
why I'm doing
great
it. 'Cause
tips.
I'm pretty unpolished, so that worked perfect.
That's all right. People are used to seeing each other with, you know, bed hair and, you know, pajamas
Right.
and everything right now. So anyway, well, any other questions here before we wrap up? And thank you, Susie, for all your great insights.